How about your first Pride?
Well, my first Pride, Lee, you know me. I like to do my own thing. So after, I mean, I came out when I was like 13. My parents knew, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the show Queer as Folk before,
Oh
Lee.
yeah. Oh, I
Oh
love that
yeah,
show.
right.
Love
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, right. Okay, so I had a job by the time I was like 16, 17. So I bought all the box sets from like the DVD store, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready. I know all about being gay now that I've seen Queer as Folk, and I'm ready to go to Pride.
This is the Lee Swift Show. And with me today is my fellow Kardashian, my very dear friend, Courtney. Thank you for being on this venture with me, this new venture that I'm excited about.
Thank you for extending your quill to me so that we can write this first page together, Lee Swift author.
Yeah, you're taking me back to the poetry thing where I got a C from Savannah. So, ouch.
But let us not forget that you are the true professional.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I'm not a poet though. Not I'm not a poet. I never claimed to be a poet. In fact, I have a poem in one of my books that my niece did because I needed a poem and I couldn't come up with it, and I said, "Please help me out here, girl." So that's what happened, and she did, and that's why that poem made the book, not mine. I'm a narrative writer. I'm screenplays, novels, plays. I can write that all day long. Poetry, not so much. Not so much.
Really?
Yeah, never have been very good at poetry.
Poetry was like my favorite part of creative writing in school. Like it was the thing that made me be like, oh, well, maybe English isn't so bad, like outside of reading.
Well, your poem, wow. Do you still have it, by the way? Do you have your poem?
Uh, I don't, maybe.
Yeah. I'm not asking you to
I gotta
read it,
look.
but I mean, we can watch it again on the show. But yeah, I thought yours was really, really good. I loved it.
Thank you.
And you know who else's was good? Was Chloe's. That was, I mean, she slayed it. She was awesome.
I was pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. I didn't know what she was gonna give, but what she did was exceptional. I said, hold on, there's something about her. Oh, Chloe, I miss her, Lee.
I miss her so much. And I've got to come out when she's there. And even if it's just to grab a cup of tea with you two, I've got to, the Kardashians need to have a reunion, period. Done.
We'll go to brunch.
Brunch, my favorite meal,
I love brunch.
I love me some brunch with some mimosas and bottomless mimosas. Come on. Done.
You're
done
speaking my language.
I like cranberry mimosas. Have you had those?
No, I've only had strawberry mimosas, pineapple mimosas, and regular.
I like cranberry because it's not as acidic. And so, and so I really enjoy the cranberry.
It's like tart.
It's a little tart. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it.
Okay.
and this podcast is about drinking. I don't know what this podcast is going to be about. Actually, I do. I want to talk about Pride because Pride, the month of June is Pride. And what does Pride mean to you?
Well, Lee, for me, from my perspective, where I sit looking out my window, Pride to me is accomplishment. It is confidence. It's a sense of just being proud to be who you are, to live your life out loud. You know what I mean? Because for so many people, you live your life quietly or you live your life inside your head. And to have pride is to say, this is who I am. I'm proud of who I am. And if you don't like it, I'm still happy about who I am. So that's what pride means to me. What about you?
That's so well said. I mean,
Thanks.
that's so well said. People living in secret fear, all those things, and sometimes, justfully so, given where they're at. Even family members that they can't relate. I mean, they do the least little thing. And I'll say, as a man of my age, hiding was a very normal thing for a lot of queer people for a long time, and still in lots of places is the same, because coming out to me is a journey, and Pride is about helping people with that journey. And the journey really never stops. I mean, because you get in a situation, okay, I started a new job. You're going to make sure. I mean, I'm very comfortable in my skin now, but it's like, yeah, I'm going to let them know very quickly I have a husband because I don't want it to leave that on the table. I don't want to be fearful. So I'm coming out is a journey, and pride helps me with that because I'm not alone. I have other people arm in arm. We get to be silly and throw beads and all kinds of fun stuff, and remember that, hey, this rainbow family is large and we have each other's back.
Mm. What was your first Pride like, Lee?
Uh, it was unbelievable. I mean, again, I grew up in a West Texas conservative town, so when I went to the first Pride, which was in Dallas, Texas, where I
Mm.
live now, I just was my eyes had to be big the whole time. I mean, because I was just like, oh my gosh, there's guys kissing on the street. What? Oh, there's people country western dancing to get two guys. What? Girls are kissing. I just transgender people. I mean, I just was like, I felt like I had it was Christmas to me. I just felt so in the spirit of it. How about your first Pride?
Well, my first Pride, Lee, you know me. I like to do my own thing. So after, I mean, I came out when I was like 13. My parents knew, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the show Queer as Folk before,
Oh
Lee.
yeah. Oh, I
Oh
love
yeah,
that show.
right.
Love
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, right. Okay, so I had a job by the time I was like 16, 17. So I bought all the box sets from like the DVD store, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready. I know all about being gay now that I've seen Queer as Folk, and I'm ready to go to Pride. So I asked my mom if I could go to New York because I lived in Pennsylvania at the time. And my mom was kind of like, no, not because she's homophobic, but because she had to work and she didn't want me to go by myself. So what happened is I have a godmother that lives in New York that is like, I mean, all of her friends are mostly queer. And she volunteered to like take me around through my first Pride. And it felt like I had landed on my planet. That's what it felt like. Like finally, like I'm home. Like people that like I didn't feel like different. I didn't feel like the minority for once, which was such a liberating feeling. One of the best days of my life.
Oh, that's amazing. And New York was your first Pride. That's pretty amazing right there.
Yes. Oh my god, it was intense. It was definitely like I thought I was pretty gay. I didn't even realize how little gay I was until I went to my first Pride, and I was like, oh, this is capital GA to the Y.
Yes, yes, yes. Amazing, amazing. You talked about coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience? Because not just with your family, but with friends, and how that all transpired.
Well, with my family, it was easy because I think that they knew, and it was sort of those things. It was like a thing where my parents were never going to put pressure on me to come out even though they already knew. It was more so when I was going to feel the courage whenever they decided to ask again that I was just going to say yes. And so they asked, I said yes, and then it was like, okay, what do you want for dinner? When it came to friends, with my best friend, it was like we had the conversation like over like instant messenger, and then I immediately made up an excuse to my mom, like I needed to like go to her house, and we had like a sleepover and talked about all the cute boys in our grade. And then with everyone else, it was like we had like MySpace back then instead of Facebook. So
Right.
what I did was I just changed my sexual orientation to gay on the last day of school, and then let it marinate over the summer, and then just came back gay, and everyone was like, it was like normal, like, you know what I mean?
Nice, nice.
Calculated.
Well, I think it's important, for anybody that might be listening to this or watching this, you have to figure that out because you got to
Mm-hmm.
figure how do I do this in a way that's safe and comfortable for myself. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's you're the first step is accepting, hey, this isn't change. This is part of my DNA. And then I think what you did was amazing. Do you have any advice for people who are coming out?
um I would say my biggest piece of advice for people that are coming out is understanding that even if there are people in your life who you love with every cell of your being who do not understand, there will be other people that not only understand but return that same love to you with every cell of their being as well. So it should be your objective to not dwell on the people that don't understand, but to seek out those that do safely.
Love it. Absolutely. You're a wise man, sir. You're such a
Me,
wise. Yes, you are. You
not
are.
me, Lee.
Yeah.
That's you.
Well, you're fun and wise. I'm just kind of an old guy that has a little wisdom here and there.
Silly.
I was talking about language, how language with Brett White on another program that he and I did that I think will come out, and I may already be out, I don't know. But the word queer was a terrible word when I was growing up. I mean, it was awful. And I love that the community has grabbed that word back for a while now and says this is an empowering word. We're going to take that word from you. But there's other words like when we were watching the show, Archie Bunker from 1971, the word, and I'll say it, fag. That word is still, to me, a slur. Is it a slur still?
For me, it is. I don't like it, to be honest. I don't really have friends that use it. It's always like a friend of a friend, and then it's like, but I think it's different for everyone. I personally choose not to like reclaim the power from that word and choose not to use it at all. And it always, for me personally, it's always kind of like an eye roll when I see other gay people weaponizing it to like call other gay people that, even if it is in jest. I'm just like, ugh, it makes my skin crawl, TBH.
It's funny to me, the heteronormative world, gender is such a women are women, men are men. This is neither of the two shall meet. So if a man is very effeminate or a woman's more butch or whatever, people are like, what? Even in our show, I'll be honest, I've thought about this, about the gender thing. We all were looking at Delisa and saying, well, she better know the sports. And then the makeup, oh my gosh, Emily better know the makeup. And in reality, I mean, now granted, their images would make you lean towards that, but it's possible that a woman would know sports and not know makeup. I mean, there's all kinds of fluidity in this gender thing, and I think trying to have all these stereotypes inside our own community, to be honest, I think we all need to be working on that. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of internal work that needs to be done for a lot of people, because when you, even if it's not in a negative way, what we don't realize sometimes is that we're like projecting those stereotypes onto other people because it's something within us that's like, you know what I mean? So I do try to be more conscious of, especially after watching the show, like you said, I was like, why would, I mean, should Trevor have known the sport? Like, I felt like because I knew it, that anyone could have known it. You know what I mean? But as an audience member, I would have felt like, well, this man in the fitted hat should definitely know his basketball. But what does that say about me?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's fascinating when we look at ourselves and our own little biases that we have, and we got to work on them. I have to work on mine. I have a lot more because I'm old. So I kind of, I grew up in, like, All in the Family was, those were the normal people, a lot of them, the Archie Bunkers more than the others. But yeah. Okay, we've been so serious about pride and everything. Tell me an LGBTQ icon that touched you when you were a kid.
When I was a kid, LGBTQ plus icon when I was a kid.
Or whenever somebody, I'm throwing this on you. Yeah, quiz. It's a quiz.
I
You're on the show now. You could
I know,
lose.
I know.
You
I'm
could
trying. I'm
lose.
trying to think who's a gay. You know what? I'll just say, just to be campy and speak to something I can easily speak to and know about. I'll say Lady Gaga. When I was younger, specifically maybe 10 years ago, Born This Way, speaking of when she was just in West Hollywood, that
Yes.
album, Lee, really made me feel like liberated. And even though the feds won't catch me now, that was like, I was like 19, 20, sneaking into nightclubs in New York to hear Judas, like to hear like all that, the album track, like that. I'll always like feel my most liberated as a gay person when I hear that particular album, because that was like the soundtrack of me, like, graduating high school and being free and gay and going to clubs and, being ratchet and fun.
I love it. I love it. Are you a little monster? Were you one of her little
Oh,
monsters?
oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. If Lady Gaga, I think them Chromatica Ball tickets are out now. Lady Gaga, send me some Chromatica Ball tickets. I'm
Yes.
coming.
Yes. And I'm going to bring my old friend Lee with me.
And we bring in Lee, period.
Yes, for sure. I mean, oh my gosh, she's a genius. I think
Genius.
such a big heart and amazing things. And she can sing the. My mom always says she can sing the phone book. It's like
She
yes.
can sing. She can sing, Lee.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. She does.
Mm,
She doesn't need any auto tuning or anything. She's got
no.
pipes that are killer. But yeah, yeah. My gay icons were music too. It's funny because like Elton John, was a gay icon. I think he was bisexual, identifying bisexual back in the day. But I remember because there was nothing on TV. Honestly,
Mm,
any gay character was either tragic, perverse, or hyper comedic. He was the joke of
yeah.
the scene. So it was neat. Elton John, Freddie Mercury, those kind of people. So music, I think music is always leans in before any other media leans in.
I agree. I think that's why I connect with music so much. I don't know. I always feel like music knows what's going on, even if it's not saying directly. You know.
Agreed. And they'll tackle issues that nobody else will tackle. I mean, very difficult, painful issues that we need to, as a society, tackle.
Music is our world's medicine. I wish that we could realize that more.
I love that. Is that an original quote, Courtney? Or
I
did
I
or
think
did you
so. If it's
I
out there, I it was
music is the
definitely
world's
subconscious.
I mean, that should go on a t-shirt. Music is the world's
World's
medicine. Holy
medicine.
crap, that's dang it.
Damn.
Everything that comes out of your mouth, I swear. I just want to I go, throw it on a t-shirt.
Throw
Throw
it
it
on
on
a
a
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
Let's make some money off of that. Hmm.
I love that. That's fantastic. Wow. So what's going on? What are you doing after this big circle craziness that we just enjoyed? Wild, fun.
I'm trying to get my head on straight. LOL. I can't because I'm gay. No.
I can't even think straight. So
I
there you
can't
go.
even think straight. I honestly, Lee, I've just been trying to stay afloat with the whole thing. I'm trying to drop some merch coming soon, trying to work on some other projects, like another podcast I'd like to launch in the future as well. And just getting back to my live show, talking about celebrities and a business while minding my own.
Yeah, I love it. Any teasers for us that we might be watching for? Anything you can tease us about?
The number one thing that I can tease is content with the other circle members on my YouTube channel coming soon.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, I hope to see you in Pride, but Pride's like pretty quick. So I may see you after Pride in LA because LA Pride's early, I think. So I may come out in June and see you in Pride Month because that's my plan.
I
And
want to
just,
see you, Lee.
I know. And you got to get to Dallas. Dallas used to be in the fall for a long time, and it was because of the heat.
Mm,
they were like,
it was too
okay,
hot.
it was way too hot. It was like October, but then they decided, hey, everybody's it's Pride Month, we need to have it in, and I think they've done it for a couple years, and it's gone really well. It's getting bigger because they changed the venue. It's a
Mm.
big place, Fair Park. I'm I'm doing a shout out for Dallas Pride.
Come on,
Come
Dallas
come
Pride.
on,
We
Dallas
need the
Pride.
sponsor. Y'all better
Yeah,
sponsor Lee and
that's
have him
right.
talk
That's right. Let's put
for
you.
the
Let's
fee.
for me.
For the
Yeah,
fee.
put you and me on a float with Chris Sapphire. That'd be fun.
Ooh,
Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be fun.
ooh, yes.
Yeah,
That's a really good idea.
maybe next year because they probably are all locked up. But we could do it next year. That would be fun. And that would
Next year,
get.
Dallas Pride, we're not busy.
Hey, we're not busy. Well, we might be. You might be
Yeah,
on
we
another
might.
show. I mean, they may come knocking for you. They may come knocking.
Imagine, Lord.
I hope they do. I think you're
Me
amazing.
too.
You
Thank you,
you
Lee.
you on the television. I just you just you inspired, you made me laugh. It was amazing. I mean, I'm saying watching the show, not in the game. I'm saying watching the show. You are
Thank you.
that you are made to be a celebrity. You just are. You are. Done. Period.
You said period. You are silly, Lee.
I know. We have too much fun. We have way too much fun. Okay, where can they find all your podcasts, your social media, all that stuff?
Well, you can listen to my podcast with my good sis Felicia at Overheard in the Pantry, and that's available on Apple and Spotify. And my social media, Instagram, Courtney Revolution, TikTok, and Twitter, Court Revolution. Give me a follow, why don't you?
Do it. You won't regret it, guys. You won't regret it. Thank you for being on this. You're such a sweetheart, and you know how I feel about you. I adore you.
Thank you for having me on, Lee. I really do appreciate it. It made me feel special.
You are special. Happy Pride, sir. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, Lee.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.